Kenpachi gets rock hard in his battle against Gremmy. You heard me right. In my review of Bleach, Chapter 576. The battle between Kenpachi and Gremmy is still underway, and this week's chapter was very exciting. It was sort of an extension of last week's. In fact, it was even called The Killer's Hide Part 2, and you could see that throughout this whole chapter because Gremmy is starting to get more excited about this battle. Kenpachi's just running around destroying everything that Gremmy is throwing at him, and frankly, it's pretty damn exciting because things get sort of changed up at the end when Gremmy displays some brand new powers. But one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this chapter is the fact that even after last week's chapter, when Kenpachi was sort of hinting at the fact that he might actually be using some brand new abilities from his sword, he's still continuing not to use any of that stuff whatsoever. No matter what Gremmy throws at him, whether it be massive stone pillars or just big explosions and shit, Kenpachi just cuts right through everything. Steel, flesh, bone, he is a maniac. And Gremmy's starting to get freaked out, and that's when he has this new ability where he imagines a double of himself, and he even goes on to explain that he can sort of create anyone with his imagination. It makes sense going in line with his powers. If you remember that one creepy-ass Stern Ritter a couple chapters ago, apparently Gremmy actually created that guy, and he creates another clone of himself, and this gives him a double benefit. He can now use twice the amount of imagination, so he can sort of cover his tracks. He can make sure he's being offensive and defensive at the same time. However, this really isn't bothering Kenpachi at all. In fact, he's very excited about all of this. And at the end of the chapter, he has a great line where he basically says, you know what? I'm getting rock hard from this battle. And he's about to unleash a really big technique at the end, and you can tell, and it's just really exciting. But unfortunately, like a lot of other chapters of Bleach, this one just flew right by. The minute I started reading it, it seemed like it was done. However, what was there was still really entertaining. And I think if they ever decide to get back to an anime form of Bleach, this is the type of fight that's going to work really well in a single episode, because obviously they'll be able to animate a lot more from the chapters. But for what it is, I'm really enjoying this right now. I'm still waiting for Kenpachi to sort of just like go insane and reveal his abilities, but the more I see him fighting against this kid, he might not even have to use them yet. This could be just another big tease before his big reveal. Another, Quincy or Stern Ritter could just appear at any moment. But Gremmy, his new double ability and everything, I still feel he's going to find a way to get around that. The fact that he has a double of himself really doesn't change all that much when you think about it. I mean, he already created that one clone guy earlier, and that guy didn't get very far. Yachiru ended up kicking his ass, and she's still sort of just hanging out on the sidelines. If she decides to join in this battle, Gremmy is going to get his ass kicked. And let's face it, he's already fighting against Kenpachi. The kid's screwed. He's going to get destroyed. But otherwise, some other positives about this week's chapter is a lot of the artwork was good. Whenever there was an action scene, it looked especially awesome, especially the scenes where Gremmy is just throwing a lot of attacks at Kenpachi, especially that one scene where this big pillar comes down on top of him and Kenpachi just cuts all the way right through it. It's really, really intense. Another thing that I really liked about this chapter, of course, is just getting to see Kenpachi and his personality shine through. There's a scene where him and Gremmy are talking, and Kenpachi's sort of messing with him a little bit by saying, oh, did you imagine yourself dying? Starting to get under your skin a little bit, so I really liked that scene a lot. So, even though it was sort of a short chapter, I still think it's worth your time if you're following the series. So, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I still think it's really awesome, but it's only a matter of time before Kenpachi really goes wild. So check this one out, guys. Pretty kick-ass. And so, if you guys had a chance to check out this week's episode of Bleach, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. You can tell me about your favorite moments, maybe some stuff you didn't care for, and what do you want to see from the future of the battle between Kenpachi and Gremmy. And remember, guys, before you leave, make sure and hit that like button, give this video a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to our channel so you can see all of our latest content. You can also check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. Yes, we do tweets. And I'll put links to both of those in the description box below. Also, guys, it is spring 2014, which means brand new anime, and I'm covering a lot of brand new series. I'm going to put links to some of those in the description box below. I just did a review of Soul Eater Not. It is the spin-off prequel of Soul Eater. If you want to hear my thoughts about it, check it out below. I also did a video for a brand new character in Super Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS, and I sort of freak out about it. So I'll put links to both of those below. Check them out. Thumbs up. You guys know all the deal. So, I'll see you next time. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.